X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
This is pathetic.
Where we used to live. Why did you keep the mousetrap?
So whistle while you work.
Life could be worse.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time.
They're gonna do the Mary Poppins thing. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
It's such fun to hum a happy working song. A happy working song.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
If you haven't subscribed to Lorena yet and you're watching this, you suck.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Happy New Year. Of course, I'm Reina Creole, and this is the Spice Lounge, where we bring you those hot topics, spicy conversation, injected, of course, with a lot of fun. So we are so glad all of you are here. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, a wonderful new year, and are ready to get back to what we say, lighting a fire under Hollywood, calling balls and strikes, all that kind of thing. Well, so glad to be back here with you all, because we are, of course, live on YouTube. We are live on X over there. So if you're on X, please do consider subscribing to my channel and my panelists that'll be here. Hello to Bradley's Fun Fam, which this stream is simultaneously being broadcast on. So glad that you are all here. And speaking of my panelists, friends, which I could not do this show without. Well, definitely without you guys in the chat, but definitely without my friends here. Of course, we've got Ron. I'm going to follow the Bradley's Fun. And we have got Erica. How are you guys doing?
If you haven't subscribed to the Reina Creole yet, you suck. And if you haven't subscribed to Erica and Raph, you also suck.
Yes.
I got to brag.
Brag.
Ooh, go ahead.
I made this cake tonight.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, let me tell you what I did. I took Paula Deen's red velvet cake and I swapped out the chocolate powder for white cocoa powder and turned it into a white velvet cake. And
wait,
oh my gosh.
Wait, white cocoa powder exists?
Wow.
So I used a white cocoa powder drink mix. It's like hot chocolate, but it's white chocolate flavored.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh, it is got this velvety
Yeah?
vanilla flavor to it, and the white chocolate just gives it that smooth. I don't know. It's just on another level.
I
White
demand a
velvet.
video.
Whoa,
I demand
whoa.
a video.
Whiter than velvet was her cake. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I totally demand a
$25 for
video
a
of that.
slice.
Peter says, I love white chocolate. Yes, I do too. I love that. So yes, I am on the hunt. I must have white chocolate powder. And Retro Gamer 2408, thanks for being here. Says, hey Lorena, awesome Hogwarts sign in the background. Thank you. I got it from Universal Orlando. It's probably, I will say, the third best Wizarding World souvenir to get. Of course, number one is going to be your wand. Number two is going to be your, I will say, house scarf. Okay. I'll say house scarf. Third, definitely this banner right here. I think it was like 25 bucks, no more than 30. And it's a heavy linen, and the outside of the Hogwarts patch that's actually embroidered. So it's really nice and a very, very, very good value. They have all the different house banners now, but that one's my favorite, the alumni one there. So I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it, and glad all of you are here. I see you guys coming on in. Love this community. We got DJ Knight is here. We have got Dad Van Walking, says unicorn, nice work. Yes, that's CJ's work on the on the thumbnail. Which yeah, he always does awesome work. But yeah, I love that. Unicorn something else. And let's see, we've got Thanatos Felicitas, who says hello, everyone. Well, hello and hi. We have got Snortopoopas Cuber, who is the polar bear from Pinellas County. And I think we're kind of reaching polar bear temps here in Florida right now. Yeah, I mean, not for me from the north, it's kind of like, it's all right. Weather's not too bad, but no, when you're dipping below 60 here in
Oh,
Florida,
God.
that's iguanas falling out of
Cold.
trees, and everybody's got their puffer jackets and stuff on. And me, I'm like, I can't even really wear mine. Well, I could, but then it gets too hot. It's kind of like I just want to wear it because it looks cool. It looks cool and it's slithering green. Pretty much why. Pikmin is cool. Says, okay, ready to see the upcoming movies. Yeah, we're going to talk about the IP slate for 2025 because there's what Hollywood is trying to tell us. And then there's, regular folk who are just like, nah, I don't think so. So there's levels of fail. There's the movies where you're just like, I don't know, but I really hope it doesn't. And then there's ones where it's just like, look, there's no freaking hope for this film whatsoever. I mean, let's be real. But we're gonna run through that slate, so it's going to be very fun when those movie comes out to go back to what we said about them. Let's see who else we got here. We have got Mark Daly. Good seeing you, my dear. Says greetings from the Panhandle, aka South Georgia. Good seeing you, my friend, because we missed you during the Welcome to Florida show. All I have to say is somebody basically tied a palmetto bug to a bottle, to like one of those little rocket fireworks, put it in a bottle and lit it
Oh.
on fire and
Oh.
put it to the final countdown. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
You
I'm
have to
glad
go
I
back
did
and
not
do
watch
that.
that. I have a serious phobia to those bugs.
Yeah, you
Oh
do.
God, disgusting.
You do. But you'd like the story about the guy who got busted by the cops with all the fake ID. I mean, all the fake ID. Jerry Rose, I see you up there. Says hello, friends. Hello, back with the Vulcan salute. We've got Marilyn M in the chat. Good to see you, my dear. Says hello, everyone. Of course, Ron is on the panel. Let's see who else we have. I see you, Christina Hardy, over there on Ron's channel. There's Erica. saying hi. And we've got Dylan Soup who says, hey, Lorena, Erica, and Ron. Sup, chat. Good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. We have got cranes are menacing in the dark. Oh, those sandhill cranes, they're such jerks.
No. The cranes, the cranes that are behind Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh, have you seen how ugly? I saw it last night. I thought it was Godzilla for a minute. I mean, I kid you not. That is how big this crane is over there, where they're working on the refurb for Big Thunder Mountain. It's this big, you can't tell what's the attraction. Although I will say it does stop you from looking at Tiana's Bayou Adventure and you're just staring at this big, huge, monstrous crane that just, again, another thing that destroys the sight line. But yeah, it was.
Just real quick, I would like to say that if Tiana's Bayou Adventure had Dr. Facilier in it, and the story had something to do with his spirit creating a mountain so that it would be hard to get to something or whatever, then the nighttime look of Tiana's Bayou Adventure was something about like added some kind of his hat or something Facilier on there, then the nighttime look would actually make sense. But as it is, it's like it looks like a haunted mansion vibe Splash Mountain crossover that has nothing to do with any of that. It makes no sense whatsoever.
None.
Looks like a purple cauliflower at night.
It does. It's just creepy looking. But now you've got this big, huge crane that looks like it's about to stomp on something. It is.
Look at that. They already built Villains Land, everybody.
Yeah.
As it comes crashing down because they built it like a box of matches.
Just need Bob Iger to walk out and go, hey guys, I'm the main villain.
Oh, Kanan Barnes, hello, says hi, y'all. I see you waving there over there on Ron's channel. Good to see you. Let's see, we got DJ Knight, who's basically saying, Erica, you are a genius with cakes. I agree. Daggone it, that is genius. Whew. Tell you. Let's see who else we got. I see Virginia, Ron's lovely wife. There she is. Says hi, all. Good to see you. And Mark Daly says, white cocoa powder. Isn't that illegal in America? Wasn't that what the Miami Vice dealers were selling? No, that's called yayo. If you saw Scarface, you'd understand what I have to tell people. There's a reason. I only saw Scarface 2 years ago, and somebody's like, well, why did it take you so long? I said, look, I have family in Florida. I visited Florida. I already knew the story of Scarface anyway. It was no surprise to me, but went back and saw it, and it is a freaking, it's a great movie. I freaking loved it. Thank you, Kanan, for that $5 super chat. I sure do appreciate that. Let me hit you up.
Broke into the old apartment, 42 stairs from the street.
And I want to thank the Bare Naked ladies for sharing revenue. I tell you, that will never get old. Never get old whatsoever.
It's under 3 seconds. You should be okay. Isn't that like a 3 second rule?
It's like an 8 seconds. So, well, that's 7 seconds. So this clip, it's like I would still get the money for it, but I have one that's 16 seconds just because I'll take the hit when I play that one because it's just perfect. It's extended with, Bird Rabbit looking around, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I can't believe what they did. Like, that's a special one. I saved that one on occasion. I'm excited to visit Universal and SeaWorld Orlando later this year. You will have a blast. I cannot believe how much fun I am having going to SeaWorld. And I have to say, one of my favorite things at SeaWorld right now is going over to feed the sea lions because they all have different personalities.
What?
Yeah.
You can feed everything at SeaWorld.
Mm-hmm.
You can feed
Even
the sea, you
dolphins?
can feed the dolphins. You can feed the sea lions. You can feed the what are they called?
The stingrays.
Stingrays. The stingray.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
they
the
get,
I'm not
stingrays.
they
a
get
stingray.
shrimp.
It's fun to reach your hand in and pet the stingrays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
There's a lot of it. See, people. I think a lot of people, a lot of the Disney pixie dusters are forgetting that as soon as Epic Universe opens, and I know that they're not all under the Universal umbrella, but you will now have 4 parks, 4 major theme parks, just like Disney has 4 major theme parks, all in a geographical area smaller than Disney World.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I
And
posted
one
a
of them is an
picture.
animal-centric park, but it has a lot more rides than Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is beautiful. I'm not going to say anything against Animal Kingdom, but SeaWorld has its own uniqueness to it, and it has got to be. I'm assuming it's now like the coaster capital of Orlando because, man, Coaster City there at SeaWorld.
It's all over the place, and the coasters are so cool. I cannot wait to ride them. And to add to what Ron was saying, I took a picture and I put it on X from the parking lot where I was at SeaWorld. You can see the 2 hotels that are right there by the convention center, which is the Hyatt, and you can see the Rosen. Right behind that is the convention center, and right behind that is Epic Universe.
Yep, right
Literally. It's only, I think, like maybe a 5-mile difference to get there just because of the traffic and everything. It is going to be amazing. Dude, you're going to have a great time. Make sure you feed the sea lions, especially the one that sounds like a I don't know if it's a car. No, he sounds like a red alert, actually, because they know when you have food for them.
Also, just to promote my own jealousy about SeaWorld, there is a channel out there, maybe more than one, but at least one that does like a lot of videos of the mime at the sea lion and walrus show, and they get like millions upon millions of hits on their shorts of the mime. And I'm like, I want that. I tried to. It's not, you have to be there a lot to get that mime exactly at the right time, doing the right thing. I've tried to get some footage. It's not easy, but they have some very world famous mimes there, and it's super funny when you first coming into that show and you're watching the mime interact with the audience and
I thought I was in the wrong place.
It's so
For
fun.
a minute, I thought I was in the wrong spot. But
Real quick, Lorena, did you ever end up seeing the Christmas, the Nativity show?
Yes, I did.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I did. Cool. Yes, I did. I streamed that on
good.
King's Day weekend, so you can go back and actually see that on my channel. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I'm so glad we finally got to catch that. Yeah, the guy who climbs that crane every day is the bravest man in Florida. That crane is insane. Samuel Williams, hello, and welcome to the channel. Happy New Year. It's time for theme park blue sky renderings to become a reality. No more hotels. Definitely no more hotels.
Is there another hotel going up by Fort Wilderness?
There's
GBC.
Reflections, except it's not called. So in 2019, it was going to be called what was it? Reflections something Lodge, and then they just dropped the name Reflections, but it's going to be, what is it? I don't know. It's on a Fort Wilderness campground area, but now they're changing. Yeah. They should just call it River Country. Oh, Lakeside Lodge. That's it. It's just called Lakeside Lodge.
Lakeside Lodge. Okay.
They'll probably change the name again.
They probably will. I just know there's 3 ugly cranes that you can see from the monorail when you're going back to the Transportation Ticket Center.
Maybe they'll call it the brain-eating amoeba that closed River Country down.
Dance Leap at the Kingdom, Broccoli Mountain not available during after hours because it's quote unquote too cold. I don't remember Splash Mountain closing because it's cold. No,
they would just turn down the splash.
That's exactly it. They turned down,
and they've already done that with Tiana's. So stupid.
Yeah,
and they can temperature control that water.
Yeah,
and there's that.
They closed Tiana's when it was running. Like they would close it at least about 2 hours before the park closed, and all you'd see is empty things. But that's kind of messed up. You pay all that money for after hours, and you can't ride it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, Tom F. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Abras Carmageddon in here as well. Good to see you, my dear. Good idea for a new live stream. The countdown to Epic Universe. Can't wait. You know what, Retro Gamer? I'm glad you brought that up because one of the hotels at Epic Universe, which is one of the value hotels, which is Stella Nova Resort, opens January 21st. I will be staying there and I will be live streaming every night from Stella Nova. So we are going to be going all through that hotel. Supposedly there is a walking path from Stella Nova Resort to Epic Universe. So we are just going to have fun checking all that stuff out. Lots of videos and live streams coming with respect to Epic Universe, especially during Resort Recon Live podcast, which is on Saturdays. We're kicking it back up January 18th, Saturday, January 18th at 12 noon. So that's when we do our theme park talk over there. So yes, lots, crap ton of Epic Universe stuff coming. As a matter of fact, as I'm an annual pass holder at Universal, I get to go pick up an Epic Universe lanyard exclusively for pass holders. Yeah. Yeah. If they're not all gone by now, but I'm going to check it out. Hey, DK Bones. Good to see you. Good to see you. And it took you 3 days to thaw out when I got back. You know what, dude? I hear you. My niece was so upset for a while. She did not want to go back to Michigan. She's like, I don't want to be cold. I'm going to be cold if I go back. I felt so bad. I felt so bad because they were here running around and checking out the pools and doing stuff, and it was warm here. And when reality kind of hit, she had to go back. It broke my heart. She was so sad. She's like, I want to go back to where it's cold and I'm gonna freeze. And yes, the circular intersection, it is freaking awesome. It is absolutely awesome. I've been on one part of it, the one that goes from Kirkman to Sand Lake. So you can get around, Lockheed. So you go up, you extend, and as soon as you get to the top, you have this gorgeous view of Helios Hotel.
I drove over Sand Lake, trying to figure out how that circle works, because when you're over the top of Sand Lake, you don't really see the circle. I know you're like on it and you're right there. And my wife was asking as we got just to before that intersection, there's a road that you can turn into that looks like it's going into Epic, but I'm also not 100% sure. If you go down that road, will you get arrested? I don't know.
Lockheed?
Well, I mean, that's not the Lockheed road, but that whole like water, whatever it is before that, then the road, and it looks like it goes right to Helios. But I don't think that road is going to be an entrance to Epic. I think it's like I don't know.
No, the entrance to Epic is actually going to be off of Destination Parkway. They finally took away the no trespassing sign on the entrance to Epic Boulevard. So I'm going to drive through there. I think that's how you get to Stella Nova and Terra Luna resorts. So yeah,
is that Alpha Destination?
Yes, that's off of Destination Parkway.
I because when we were back there the other day, I had to go to Whole Foods to return something to Amazon.
That oh shoot.
Yeah,
really?
There was a long line at Whole Foods to return something, but we didn't get a chance to backtrack. That's the night that we ended up at Disney Springs. That's on my birthday.
Oh, Ruby Hoof, thank you so much. Gifted one follow the Bradley's Fun membership. That is awesome. So if you got that membership from Ruby Hoof over on Ron's channel, please do give her thanks, especially as she's got the gorgeous, gorgeous cat avatar in there. And y'all know I love cats.
He is
Hey,
Rogan.
Fergus. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you, my dear. We have got oh my gosh, we have so much stuff coming up on like all of our channels. So, like I said, if you love us talking about theme parks, starting back up on January 18th, Resort Recon Live at 12 noon Eastern. You'll see all of us. Sometimes we have guests who will pop in, like Braylon Leo pop in. I know I have to get him on the back on the channel. We have so much fun. So, all right, are we ready for the hot topics?
I have a real quick question because I didn't see all the things. I know we're talking about the movie IP and the stuff. Are we going to be talking at all about Epcot's iPoo?
Oh, what is it? I think we're gonna save that.
That was the sewage dripping
from the top,
from the top through the ceiling down to the people that were waiting in line for Soarin'.
That's so gross. Oh my gosh.
We never used to have this problem at this.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here like going through all the different diseases and infections you can get from that touching you. Like,
yeah.
No. What I always imagine is, the people at Disney, it's exhausting, right? So you're tired and you're like, I'm getting in line for oh my gosh, I'm tired, guys. Oh, what was that that just dripped on my tongue?
Oh God. Oh no. All I'm gonna say is it's a point in time where Disney that's not part of what we paid for.
Somebody's walking around going, man, Disney is the shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
We may have to start like an issue log. I know, pun intended. What's going on with all of the sewage problems, because that did not used to us.
Hey, cousin Eddie, what you doing over there at the land? Oh, it was full.
It's full. Merry Christmas. Well, we're going to get to our hot topics here first. And first one, which I am not surprised at all about, coming to us from the Rep. Squid Game Season 2 becomes Netflix's second most popular non-English show ever, with 126 million views. Have either of you watched Squid Game?
I haven't.
My family was watching it, and it was interesting because they all speak Spanish, right? So that's the English. It doesn't even matter because they just put the Spanish subtitles on. And what was playing? I walked in on them. They were watching it, and the scene. It was playing. Some game was going on in the Squid Games that they were playing, and somebody was about to die. That's the Squid Games thing, right? And they were playing the Italian song "Time to Say Goodbye," Conte Partiro.
Hero.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what it was, but it was. I know that song really well. I used to sing it when I was a gondoliers in Las Vegas, the Venetian, and so it was just funny for me to like walk in right at that part. But I haven't watched. I've watched segments of season 1, and I haven't watched the whole thing. And it's on the back burner for me, but it's something I want to watch for sure, because it has that interesting premise where once you start watching it, I can tell it draws you in. It says non-English, but gosh, it's got to be. I mean, where does it fare among the English-speaking shows? It's got to be pretty high, even among the English-speaking shows, I would think.
It is.
dubbed in English?
It's dubbed in English. Of course, it has honestly, I tell people watch it with the English subtitles in the original Korean. There's something to it. If you don't and you're like short on time, you can listen to the English dub, but I prefer just hearing it in the native language. There's just certain inflections that you miss. And Lee Jung-jae, who we all know, well, I feel so bad that he was in Acolyte, but before the Acolyte even happened, okay, he's a big actor in Korean cinema. I freaking love K-dramas. He's awesome. This show, Squid Game, was it last year? Squid Game. I was like, why are people talking about this? I don't know what the heck this is. Maybe I should check it out. And from the first episode, I was hooked. You have this guy who he is broke. When I say he's a broke ass living with his mom. He can't even buy his daughter a birthday present. He tries to go to the ATM to get some money out. He has no money. And he feels like a complete and absolute loser. And he's just sitting there in the train station contemplating how much his life sucks. And this gentleman comes up to him in a suit and says, would you like to play a game? If you win, I'll give you $100. And it's this stupid, like, kids game. But he plays and he wins money. And after he wins money, guy gives him a card and says, no, or did he lose? I forget. I got to go back and watch. But either way, that's the hook. And this guy, of course, he takes up the invitation. He winds up in these Squid Games where everybody's a broke ass. But the more people die, the more the money pot grows and the more money people get to share. So it turns into like Survivor. And it's the individual stories of these people that get you. So I'm not going to spoil season 2 for those of you who have not seen it, but I will say this much. The first installment is Netflix's largest popular non-English show ever on that streamer. It broke so many records. It's the reason why streamers like Disney were snapping up K-dramas. And the guy who wrote Squid Game, he did not expect to get a second season, literally, at all. So my whole thing was, how were they going to be able to top the first season? I won't say that it tops the first season, but the way they kicked off the second season, I got to give them credit because I did not freaking see that coming at all. So if you want to literally suck up a whole day and not do anything or go anywhere, watch Squid Game, because when you watch it, it's just like, how come we do not get entertainment like this? It's just it's a good story. I will say in the second, is it better than Arcane season 2? Not even in the same league. Arcane season 2 is no. Season 2 of Arcane was garbage. But season 2 of Squid Game, I'm like, I was shocked. I was shocked. I didn't think that I could be surprised, but by the last episode, I was like, I can't believe y'all did that. It's so good.
Was this filmed in South Korea? Is this like a South Korean? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So I have a very odd connection here, in that I was actually in a South Korean drama show. And I'm not even kidding about that.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in Las Vegas and I was acting in 2000, 2001, I was cast, by my agency to come in and actually did 2 different roles in this show called Hotelier, which is a South Korean drama. And I was looking it up to make sure everything, like, I'm not even kidding, and make sure I haven't seen myself in the show. Maybe I got cut out. I gotta look, but I don't even know which episodes I'm in. I've always wanted to know, but as streaming becomes more popular, I keep hoping that I can find it at some point and see if I'm actually in these scenes. But there was part of it where it was something about, I don't know, hotel guru, whatever, and they had to come to Las Vegas from South Korea to purchase something, whatever. I don't know what those scenes are about. It's Korean. How would I know what it's about? I just showed up. I was a limo driver in one, and I opened a door for somebody, and then I was working in a restaurant in a different scene. Anyhow, But apparently it was very, very popular in 2000, 2001, or 2002, whenever it was in Korea. And it was funny because they were telling me that when you brought up the name of the actor that the Squid Games and he's an acolyte, basically whatever he is today, the actors that I was working with back then were that then, because they were like, this guy is like the Tom Cruise of Korea. You were working with like their main star of South Korea. And I'm like, okay. It doesn't really matter to me, but it was just funny at the time. And I always say it's on my resume, but I have no idea anything about what it's about. And it looks like I just looked it up, and it's streaming on something called justwatch.com. So I'm hoping that I can find it, and I'm hoping I can find maybe the episodes and the scenes that I'm in. I'd love to see them. I have no idea what they look like. It's like maybe less than 5 minutes of footage, I'm sure.
Well, you'll have to find it and let us know. K-dramas. Watching Squid Game made me do a deep dive into K. I'm so hooked on K-dramas. There's just like comedy, there's drama, there's sci-fi, one called The Silent Sea that I need to check out. But just how good Squid Game is made a lot of people just like, how come we don't have stuff like this in America? Like we used to. So definitely check out Squid Game season 2. If you have not watched season 1, watch season 1 first. Seriously, you need to watch season 1 first before you watch the second one. So I gotta hand it to Netflix. They did it again. They pulled it off. Did not think that they could do it, but they definitely pulled it off. So yeah, Erica, you gotta watch Squid Game.
It's on the list now.
It is so good. Oh my gosh. It's just the people in it is just.
I need to finish Tulsa King. I haven't finished, and I haven't even finished The Penguin. I got like 2 episodes in, and then life just kind of derailed.
I know.
I'm trying to finish Chuck. I'm in season 5, and there's only like 13 episodes left for season 5, and I just want to. It's a good show, but it's not one that I will go and rewatch. It's really fun to watch through the first time, but the episodes are long and the arcs are what they are, and it's like, okay, at this point in time, I like Chuck, but I kind of want to move on. I want to move on from it. And I had I'm watching. Oh, it's so bad. The Skeleton Crew. I've been watching this afternoon because I'm going to do the pro show review thing tonight, and I'm like, wow, this is so. I mean, I love Jude Law. Don't get me wrong. It's not like his acting is bad or anything like that, but I'm like, this doesn't need to exist. Period. It just doesn't need to. It's weird. It's just really weird. It's Star Wars. It's not Star Wars.
Nah, it looks like the Goonies in space. Yes, definitely watch the anime Delicious in Dungeon. I watched that. Erica, it's so good. It's so
on
good.
Netflix?
It is. I think. Is it on Netflix? Going Shoki? Is it Netflix or Crunchyroll?
I hope so. It'd make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I forget where it is. Drop where that is, because that's definitely a good anime watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Dakota, hello, says I just started Silo with my wife and we are hooked. Is that a K-drama or something else? Let me know so I can look that up. I'm always looking for.
I've heard that name. I just can't recall what exactly it is.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Oh, okay.
Name.
Okay, Delicious in Dungeon is on Netflix, and Netflix is getting a lot of anime. It's such a
Delicious in Dungeon.
It's so good. Delicious in Dungeon.
Which is
crazy.
What happens if you have a piece of Erica's cake and you're in jail? It's Delicious in Dungeon.
I just showed like the whole screen. I did not want to do that. I'm like, I needed to share the tab. Okay. First of all, 109 of you folks watching between YouTube and X. So appreciate you guys being there. Make sure you hit that like button. Sure do appreciate it. Josh Gad had to explain recent Star Wars lore to Mel Brooks during a pitch meeting for Spaceballs sequel. I'm not sure if how many people are aware, but yes, there is a sequel to Spaceballs that's going to be done, and Josh Gad, aka the voice of the most annoying snowman I've ever ran into in my life, he's Olaf from Frozen, supposedly had to do this. Now, Spaceballs, yet again, is another movie that does not need a sequel. I'll be doing a watch party with Retro Nerd Girl for the original Spaceballs on my channel on Saturday at 8 p.m. Does anyone see the question in this title?
Josh Gad to explain recent Star Wars lore to Mel Brooks during a pitch meeting for Spaceballs. So what question? I mean, isn't it? They already titled it. It's Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money.
I mean, is Mel Brooks so old that he needed a refresher on some things?
No. He just wouldn't. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know about the like the Ray crap, the Disney crap, the Disney.
That's what I'm getting at. The Disney
okay.
Star Wars. It's just, and that's what I look at when I see that. It's just like, why should you have to explain?
Oh, I did miss that word. Recent Star Wars. Sorry, that.
Yeah. In other words.
Oh, that's okay.
Mel Brooks, like the rest of the sane world, hasn't bothered to watch any Star Wars recently because it sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly the thing. It's just like, you already know there's 6 movies, so the only ones that count. So the fact that recent Star Wars lore, and something tells me that Mel Brooks was just like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. I don't have the time for that. But literally, Josh Gad spent, I don't know how much amount of time explaining, catching him up with the recent Star Wars lore. I'm trying to get the thing here. Let's see. Mel Brooks, who helmed the classic Star Wars parody Spaceballs, has not returned to the franchise since its 87 feature. And at a pitch meeting for the Spaceballs sequel, it was up to producer and star Josh Gad to catch Brooks up on the happenings of Star Wars during the last 38
oh my gosh.
years.
38 years. Oh, jeez. Dude, we're in the same boat.
But
how
yeah,
do you catch somebody up that quickly?
I don't know, but apparently Gad explained that he pitched to Brooks for around 40 minutes and that he seemed to be impressed by his vast knowledge of the franchise.
I take it that Gad he likes the recent Disney Star Wars. Or like, what version of Star Wars is he feeding Mel Brooks?
It may not even be that he likes it. There might be something from the lore that he wants to use in Spaceballs. That's all. Whether he likes it or not, or I mean, maybe he doesn't like it, which that's why it's funny to parody it. But it's what the whole point is that Mel Brooks probably doesn't know anything about what's gone on in Star Wars since the original Star Wars. He might not even know anything about the prequels. I mean, Spaceballs came out, 1980 something?
Yeah, it came out in 87, which was 2 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, so I mean,
came out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he probably hasn't paid much attention to Star Wars, especially.
I mean, look, if he wants to parody the recent Star Wars, and it's Mel Brooks. I mean, as old as he looks, I guess he's still mentally got all his faculties, I mean, just based on the picture, he looks.
I don't know. He allowed History of the World Part 2 to be made, and that was a darn disgrace.
Yeah, 50-50 chance.
The funny running joke in Spaceballs, and it's a huge running joke if you understand the whole point of is that Spaceballs was all about the merchandising of products, and they had Spaceballs the toilet paper, and Spaceballs the cereal, Spaceballs the beach towel, Spaceballs they had a little baby
I
yogurt
don't
doll and all
remember
that
all that.
stuff.
I was only 7 too.
Well,
I wasn't a fan of Barbies.
but the funny joke about that is that George Lucas only allowed them to parody Star Wars if they would promise not to sell any merchandise. So they weren't allowed to have Spaceballs merchandise. That's what was so funny. It's like the whole running gag of the movie was about this merchandise that you'll never find anywhere because they weren't allowed to produce it via George Lucas. So it's and then of course the whole title of the second one is Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, which was all about the merchandise stuff, but it was, and of course that parodied Spaceballs, Star Trek, Transformers, Aliens. There was a whole lot of parody in that. I don't think at this point in time, I don't think a Spaceballs sequel would be good. It's one of those things that it's a really great memory, and I think, and it's a fun rewatch, like just as it's on its own. But imagine Three Amigos 2 right now, like it's the same type of thing. Robin Hood Men in Tights 2 now. It just none of that makes any sense. They were super funny then. They're still super funny now, and I think you really take a chance at tarnishing the reputation of the original and the integrity of the original when you make a sequel like that. It's just
not everything needs a sequel.
No, it's like having a Galaxy Quest 2. Do we really don't need that. And I think
didn't like sequels.
Yeah, he's got a point. Although
We
I will
really
say
didn't hate.
But I think with this, yeah, Josh Gad, he's a company guy, so he's not. So they're not gonna do. I don't think they're gonna do like any serious burns or anything about the sequel trilogy. But we'll see. It's yet again another film that doesn't need to be made, and I have not heard good things about that. And Dakota says, unless they go heavy into the fourth wall breaks like Deadpool and Wolverine did, I agree with you, and they should not make Spaceballs. Yeah. And also the making fun of the Disney jokes more than the fourth wall breaks. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't have very high hopes for this. And the fact that it's like, what Star Wars lore would you need to really, really, really explain outside of the, original 3 movies? But this is Disney. So there you go. Fallen Angel D-Link says, have you seen the anime Made in Abyss? No, I have not. I'm so behind on anime right now. I will never catch up. And I made, against my better judgment, I challenged myself to finish watching all the episodes of One Piece. It may take me a year, but I'm like, I have to do it. I'm trying to watch it before the Netflix season 2 of oh my gosh, of One Piece. Where's my ET sequel? Elliot works for SETI. Searching for ET.
I always thought it would be. I've always thought ET is a sequel that you can bring about at any time because Drew Barrymore is still around and the whatever the guy that played Elliot's still around, and you could easily have them as adults at any time because we don't know how long ETs live. But I don't think that they'll ever do it. I had I don't know. There's E.T. is such a classic. You don't really need to mess with that one either. It's kind of like Back to the Future. I don't think they're ever going to reboot Back to the Future. Right. There's just certain films. Just let them lie. Here's an idea for Hollywood. I think this is a great idea for Hollywood, though. Come up with something original. Exactly. Is that possible?
Do something original. But speaking of original, there's an original film that I haven't seen yet that so many people have been talking about, and Demi Moore won a Golden Globe for, which is called The Substance. I have not seen this movie yet. I guess it's like a horror drama about basically the kind of meat grinder that Hollywood is for women. I've heard great things about it. Paulie of the Latino Slant said, you got to go see it. I'm in shock too, because I thought Cynthia Erivo would win for her role as Elphaba in Wicked, but Demi Moore won this one instead. And here's the interesting thing that I see. Amy Adams was nominated for her role in Night Bitch, which I cannot believe Disney actually distributed that film.
Was that a something about Rachel Zegler?
No, that would be Brown. Anyway, no. Then you have Carla Sofia Gascon, who I believe was in and I cannot recall the name of that darn movie, but Paulie said it was just really, really freaking awful. And all it did was push just the whole transgender thing. And there's actually a musical number about switching genitalia parts. Yes, that's how bad that movie was, but it actually won a Golden Globe.
Calling that number a musical number? I've heard it. That's about as musical as somebody beating, going like, that's horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. I'm not going to repeat it, obviously.
But yeah, so she won. But what I think is interesting about Demi Moore winning this, because of all the talk and the hype about, they made a big deal about transgender actresses appearing on the red carpet, the roles that they were in, the films that they were, that they were in. The person who wins is not only a biological female, but Demi Moore has been around for quite some time, and she's been in the acting game for over 45 years, and she wins a Golden Globe. I find that very interesting.
I know. I don't know what to say.
I can say this. She pulls off 62 very, very well.
I'll definitely agree with that. Give me your dermatologist and esthetician's phone number.
Yeah. They get special injections out there in Hollywood, I think. They got some other kind of doctors.
Yeah, it's called plastic surgery. That's pretty much what it's called. But
whoever her surgeon is, so knows what he's doing.
Well, which is a good thing. I mean, when those plastic surgeries go wrong, they are bad.
No,
bad,
I know
bad.
it can look bad. Yeah,
it's some of them are scary. Well, Meg Ryan, I think, is one of them. Oh,
Tori Spelling is one that doesn't.
Wow, it beats Zendaya. Yeah. I mean, I just find it interesting. I haven't heard any chatter about transphobia because she won, and honestly, I think it's because she's been around a long time. But I think if it was anyone else,
like if it were a younger person,
they talking crap about it.
Yeah, and they probably are behind her back. They're just not. It's just not at the forefront of like social media, and it's not blowing up. But behind closed doors, they're probably salty.
It seems like in Hollywood.
I have a question for you, because I mean, you guys keep up with this stuff more than I do. Do you think she won the award because she truly earned it based on merit, or because she's been in the game for so long and she hasn't really been recognized yet?
Well, I would say that from what Paulie has been telling me over the Latino slant is that it was very, very well deserved. That she did
Okay.
a great job in it. Again, I haven't seen it for the film for myself. I've heard a lot of the chatter about it, really
I've never even
good
heard of it.
chatter. But the only way I knew about it at first is because it popped up on my Fire TV. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay extra for it, but okay. And then I kept hearing this chatter about the substance. So I'm like, okay, this seems to be pretty good. And then Paulie tells me, oh yeah, it's an excellent movie. You have to check it out.
What
And
was the
yes,
name of it again?
The Substance.
The Substance. That's right. I read the article,
Yes.
but I'd read something, a different title.
So when it
Something
comes to the
anyway.
story of that movie, like what is the substance?
I never even heard the title. Like I didn't see ads for it or anything. But then again, I'm overseas, but that doesn't mean anything because
Hey, I didn't either.
everything's
This is
social
literally
media.
the first I'm hearing about it.
I didn't either. It seems like this was some limited, I want to say one of the, there's films that us civilians don't get to see because they released it in a limited number of theaters or something like that. I
Oh,
think
okay.
that's
I see
what
what you're
this
saying.
was. So a
Was
fading
that?
celebrity takes a
Did I see
black
Ronald
market
Reagan?
drug. Yeah, he's Dennis Quaid. Yeah, Dennis Quaid is in it. I love him, so he did the movie Reagan, which I heard got panned, but it looks
I've heard
insane.
good things about the movie, but
Absolutely
not from
effing
critics.
insane.
Yes, literally. In
Right.
case you doubted
Wow.
it, that hooked
Interesting.
me. That hooked me. So it's on channel called Movie. I don't know. I may have to check that out because people keep telling me how good it is. And obviously it's won a Golden Globe. The Golden Globes are usually I'll say the forerunners or the predictors, one of the predictors for the Oscars. So it's going to be really interesting seeing how this film performs because it really does clown Hollywood from what I understand. So
Is there still
Holy
a
Shogi says the substance is nuts.
Oh, so you watched it, Going Shogi. Wow.
is there still a People's
So is it
Choice
like a
Awards?
thriller? Is it a
Yes,
scary
there
movie?
is.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
I
a
hate
horror movie.
I go to bed with
Body
nightmares.
horror, dark comedy. But I will check it out because here's the thing. It says a fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. I gotta watch it. I'll let you guys know. I may do
Oh, is it one of those like
check it out.
psychological thrillers?
It's like a gory
Is it like
thriller,
that?
brutal scenes.
Oh no. Ugh,
I'm not
man.
Gory
sure.
thriller, brutal scenes. I would
Just
like a
let me
younger
If I
version
know.
of
didn't scare so
myself.
easily and go to bed with nightmares so easily, but unfortunately, yeah, that's
Hey, Josh Perry.
It does
It does
clown
clown
Hollywood
Hollywood, drug
celebrities.
addiction, and weight loss. After living in Hollywood, which I did for 5 years, I really need to see this film because there's some stuff that I freaking witnessed, and it's just like, it's crazy.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask you because I know you lived out there was how much does, let's just say, money changing hands influence who may or may not win any of these awards?
oh, he's
It
read a
it
Jackie
may
Collins book.
Yes, it may not be money, but also influence, and a lot of it is influence, not necessarily money, but
Favors.
more favors and influence because especially the
Isn't
Oscars.
money influence? Isn't money a big factor in
There's
that?
other things that can
There's
be bartered
Yeah.
with.
Yes, there's other things, like you have people who are so rich they could wipe their ass with $50 bills that are on the voting for the Oscars. So it's more of what can you do for them that they can't, that they can't already do. And it's a really weird. I think the only selection process that's weirder has to be the selection process for the Pope. By the way, Conclave is oh God, that's a dog crap movie. Do not watch that movie. It's such a
I
waste.
didn't even know there was a movie called Conclave.
I'm
No,
not
I
even
wouldn't watch that
Catholic
either.
in that movie. So
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. Just do not. Well, we're glad you're here, Josh Perry. This is my first time here with you guys and girls. Welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
He has my interest, but I don't want to go to bed with nightmares. You're gonna have to get back to me on that one.
I'll tell you
Send
what.
me to
I
bed
will watch it.
wanting to sleep with the lights on. No.
When you talk about,
I'll let you know.
When you talk about influence in Hollywood, didn't you say? I don't know if it was you that I heard it from, but it seems like it was either you or somebody else that where in Hollywood, how much clout you have has something to do with where you can get a seat at a restaurant and when it's busy or some crap like that. That's a big influential thing.
That's a thing, and I think I told this story, but I'll tell it, especially with the substance up here. So way back when I lived in LA, and I had the misfortune of dating an actor. We go to this restaurant that is God, I got so many stories. We go to this restaurant that is completely booked. He wants to go to this restaurant. Why? Because some producer that he knows of who's casting for a certain film is going to be there. So while I do not like the cuisine at this particular restaurant, we have to go there so he can get on this producer's radar, and then so he can contact his agent to try to get him in this particular film. I'm like, yeah, okay, what the heck ever. So we get there, right? And he's trying to get in, and the hostess, she's like, "I'm sorry, sir, we're completely booked. We're completely booked for the evening." And he's like, "Oh, that's a shame." And then he says, "You know what? Don't you think she's perfect for the role of," I forget what the main character was, "in that screenplay that I've got people looking at?" I'm like, "Are you freaking for real right now?"
Wow.
And this chick looks at me. And she looks at me like I'm a casting director.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Literally, that's what I said. He slipped her a $20 bill, and don't you know, in 5 minutes we had a table.
Oh my gosh.
That's freaking nuts. He just BS his way. Oh my, I can't even BS like that. Like, I am not a good liar.
I
call it as I see it a little bit.
Pretty sure we don't have that issue in Orlando.
No, I literally, my whole attitude, I didn't freaking care.
She believed him?
Oh,
and you?
She bought it hook, line, and sinker. And every Hollywood party that I would go to with this guy, I didn't freaking want to be there because I didn't like people just standing over to the side looking at me, but not talking to me. And I'm just like, what? You got a problem or something like that? For some
take
reason,
a picture to
people
last
thought
longer.
Exactly. For some reason, people thought I was a producer because I didn't want to be at this freaking at all, and I just wanted to be somewhere else. It is. Watch the series, the HBO series Entourage. That is 100% freaking true. It's so true. I
can't lie to people like that. I cannot with a straight face. Just I am not built. I can't. No, I can't. There's no way. Nope. I can't do that.
Yeah, Dylan. Yes, he was good looking. He was good looking. And hey, Shanotsky, I hate Hollywood types. Yes, I do too. It's just it is the weirdest.
So that whole date had nothing to do with the two of you. Had nothing to do with you. It's like he didn't even want to hang out with you. You were
Hollywood.
just there to help him.
That's and you know
I
why?
told him to go. Oh,
because of the way I looked. that I didn't look like a lot of this. There's like a certain type. If you have a unique look in Hollywood, for some reason, people gravitate to that crap. So apparently, I had it. Like I said, living in LA
You
completely
have a
changed
look.
me.
It's the
You
it
know,
look.
it's the it
Oh my
look. And
god.
people are like, oh, are you in the business? I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? No, I work in IT. I'm not in the business. And maybe I shouldn't be dating this guy in the first place. But that's literally it. Like, you can't have, I know I'm going off the reservation a little bit. You can't have a date where it's like, let's go to this place because it's really cool. I'm going to take you there and, the food's good. No, it's, can we go here? No. Why not? Well, because said producer isn't going to be there, or so we need to go to where they hang out. Like, another case in point, I know it's going on long, but when I talk about this, you guys will kind of get the idea of what Hollywood is like. I'm like, let's go to the California Pizza Kitchen. I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking we're going to go to the California Pizza Kitchen in Burbank. No, we have to go to the one in Studio City. Why do we have to go to the one in Studio City? Well, because that's the one that this one casting agent likes to go to, and so we need to go to that one. I'm like, you gotta be this freaking town. Anyway,
I done told them to F off. I'm hungry and we're going to this one.
Well, if I was hungry, I wouldn't go to California Pizza Kitchen at all. That place sucks.
I've never eaten that one, and the one that we had in Tampa closed down. I never had
Because
the
they suck.
opportunity.
Hey, it's
That's
Nina.
what he said. They thought you were a producer because you looked like you hated everything. Yes, that was 100% true, Shinovsky. When
Oh,
I
you
was
got that
there,
resting bitch face.
yes, I did, because it was like being around a bunch of just complete freaking imbeciles. And I'm just like, I don't freaking want to be here. I don't want to be here. And it's just a mess. Liam McNeil, the Reina Creole in Hollywood, thinks they can preach at us while encouraging shady behavior. Let it all collapse. I'll watch and bring popcorn.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
definitely do feel that way. A lot of them do. Mama Source Rex says, I used to walk in backstage everywhere at LA/Hollywood events because I had a familiar face and I just walked in like I belonged. Yeah, I've done that too.
Holy cow.
Yep.
You can do that? Jeez, I'm sorry. This is like culture shock to me. I mean, I've never been to California, so like hearing this, I'm like, is this shit for real?
That's actually how
Like,
Steven Spielberg.
Sorry.
Do you not know how Steven Spielberg got his start, Erica?
No, I don't.
Okay, he was 17 years old and he snuck onto the back lot, and I can't remember whether it was Universal or one of the big studios, maybe it was Warner Brothers, but he found, this is totally true, he found an empty trailer and he slapped his name on the outside, said Steven Spielberg, director, and I mean, obviously security's changed a lot since the late 60s or early 70s, whenever that was, but that's how he got started. He stuck on the lot and then he started like to network with people on the lot as if he worked there, and then he got something going. I don't know exactly what happened from there, but I know that the whole thing started with a big old giant lie. But it's Hollywood. That's what people do. Everybody lies.
I just assumed that, you have to have some kind of ID badge. I don't know, be on a specific list, show
Well, the
proof
list,
you were invited. Like, here's my invitation. I just thought that world was locked down like that. I didn't think that outsiders could bullshit their way to going to parties and events and whatever, that's just like I've never heard of that. I'm sitting here like,
I'll
what the hell
tell
is
you
this?
one more. I'll tell you one more story. And Dakota's right. You'd be amazed how many places you can get to by just holding a clipboard and walking
A
with purpose, like you
clipboard and
belong there.
what?
Kate, okay, here's another one. Last real
I'm sorry.
true Hollywood story. I know, Erica, the way you're
The
thinking,
real
exactly what
true
my
Hollywood
attitude
stories
was.
of Reina Creole.
Way back in the day, I had quote unquote drive on privileges to the Paramount lot. Okay, so filming Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Insurrection, whatever. So I knew someone in the script department. So I was able to drive on and just pretty much walk wherever the heck I wanted to go. And I ran into so many people who wanted to know what show I was working on. Oh yeah.
You say the Paramount lot?
The Paramount lot.
Okay.
Yes, the Paramount lot. So one night I'm there, I'm trying to get to my car. I see this guy shuffling around. I'm like, I don't know, this is a homeless dude they let on the lot. Who the heck is that? Because I'm from the East Coast. I'm like, I profile everybody. Okay. So I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm like walking, I'm like, okay, if he walks over here too close, and he's like, I'm like, oh crap, this dude's walking over to where I am. And gentleman stops, looks at me and says, good evening. And he keeps walking. Do you know that was Michael Dorn?
Oh man.
I'm That's like, funny. I'm so sorry. But yes, you would be amazed the type of things that you can do. LA is a weird place, man. Let me tell you. Yeah, when it was good. When it was good. Yep. And the crew ain't gonna get into a fancy restaurant unless one of the actors takes them. That is 100% freaking true. That is 100% true. And then not only that, but if you get into the restaurant and you look like the type of look that they want, they will put you in a table in the middle of the darn dining floor so everyone can see you. I kid you not.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I tell you.
Oh,
hey,
gosh.
Nita, I tell you. Now you know why I had to get away as quick as possible.
Anything can happen. It's Hollywood,
I gotta say,
baby.
living in Japan was culture shock. If I ever visit LA, and I won't by myself ever.
You know what? Go watch the Guns N' Roses video, Welcome to the Jungle. That is Los Angeles. And whoa, Nita? Girl?
Aw. Aw, cute.
You're gonna make me cry.
Aw, you're gonna make her cry. It is
I can't tell you guys how much you've been saving my sanity since I got laid off. And I can't get over how much you guys just your generosity, your kind words, your pep talks, everything. And Nita, girl, I'm a tough chick. My family gets they get worried if I start shedding tears. But thank you. Oh my gosh.
I think she
Nita,
deserves Possum Park.
I think she does deserve Possum Park. Here we go.
This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time.
Here at Lester's.
Elephant green screen effect.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I've been able to meet Nita in person, and she is just such
She's a sweetheart.
She is
she's
wonderful.
So sweet. She was
I can't wait to go stateside and meet some of you guys.
She's a better Snow White.
She's amazing. So I cannot wait to see you again when you're here, my dear. Thank you so much, Nita. This Happy New Year's. It's gonna be great. Well, it's definitely kicking off. Extremely great. Thank you so much, my dear. God bless you. You're a diamond, my dear. Says you're welcome. You deserve a beautiful new year. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I'd be so scared to visit Los Angeles now, though. Just hang out with me.
I'm terrified now. See, that's my thing. If I'm going out there, I'm dragging you with me.
Yeah,
I'm not going out there
go.
alone.
Because if you're from the East Coast, man, first of all, you usually are perpetually pissed about LA, and it's not some place I want to go back to visit. And people keep asking me, they're like, Rainy, you're gonna come to visit LA. I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal
Someone approaches me, my first first of all, who the hell are you? No, and run, because for all I know, you're some kind of freaking
you know
actor.
what?
I don't know.
Do you want to know why when I became a serious Second Amendment advocate? When I was in LA and weirdos would just like roll up on me when I'm like out in public. Like, I don't freaking know who you are. I'm just like, yeah, I need to go down to the Beverly Hills Shooting Club or something and do something. And yeah, that was, yeah.
That's another thing about LA that people don't really understand. And I didn't live there like you did, but I'm sure you can verify this. LA is very sectional. And what I mean by that is Beverly Hills is very different than Burbank, is very different than downtown, is very different than Santa Monica, is very different than Malibu. They're all, even though they're very close.
Over the years. They got different little cultures within their little cul-de-sacs.
They do.
I've picked up on that over the years.
Yeah, Beverly Hills is different from WeHo, which is the gayest part of LA. It's going to be West Hollywood, which is way different from, like, say, East LA, which is different from Van Nuys, which is different from Santa Monica, which is different from
Culver City,
Marina Del Rey, Culver City. Yeah, I used to work in Culver City. It's possibly the most segregated city I've ever been in.
Yeah, talk about the irony there, right? Like, oh, we're all about inclusion and we want everybody to come in. And I'm like, you guys are so freaking segregated and hypocritical. It's ridiculous.
They totally are. They would not be caught dead on the east side of La Brea. Let's put it that way. And speaking of LA, hey, Aldo's Journal, did a member for 1 month. Thank you so much, my darling. Says, hey, home for the holidays, back to LA next week. Man, that air probably smells real nice and clear where you are right now. Because when you get back to LA, that smog, oh my goodness, it's so bad. Okay, I tell this too. When I used to live in LA, and I would fly back to Philly for Christmas. And Dylan's gonna laugh at this, and anybody from Philly is gonna laugh at this. Soon as I got off, like outside, to pick, curbside, I'm breathing. I'm like, wow, this air is really clean. There are oil refineries down there next to the Philadelphia airport. So that should tell you how bad the air is in LA. And I said, now I get all the jokes about the air in LA and how it's like, oh man, I can finally breathe.
Yeah, you can always see it when you go either up by the Hollywood sign or you go up to the observatory up there and you look down in the valley and you're like, oh my gosh, it's gross. It's so gross.
Ha ha ha. No, Chile has a lot of smog too. Okay. Chile. I wasn't sure. Air you can see. Yeah, LA's weird. And speaking of LA, let's get to our main topic here. And this is from the Hollywood Reporter. And I kind of want to go to this.
That's a funny picture. I just realized.
Actually, I needed to go to this one first. Box office 2025 predictions. Can Jurassic World 4, Leonardo DiCaprio, and a new Superman help theaters return to glory?
There's another Jurassic Park coming out?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they've created like a with Jurassic Park, they've ended the original, like what we had years ago. And now they're creating a new franchise with it, I guess you could say. It's kind of weird. I was reading about it a while back. And I'm like, oh, so we're going to get more dinosaur movies where man and dinosaur just coexist. That's pretty much.
It's going to be yet another one. I'm going to be rooting for the dinosaurs again, especially the raptors. Well, they're my team.
It's the irony of these movies is, of course, in Jurassic Park, the very first one, what did we learn? You have to separate the man and the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs can't exist while man exists, but we don't care. We're going to keep it existing with man for the next 50 movies. Because we're in the movie business. We're not in the keeping man safe business.
We're gonna keep it going. And
it's like your premise is that all of your humans are dumb as F in these movies.
And with Leonardo DiCaprio, and one thing I can say about him is what I've noticed, he doesn't really just seem to go for any role or any movie. He seems to be selective. And typically what he's in has been good. It hasn't really disappointed, at least not me.
I wasn't even aware that that he was even in anything, because he's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like an actor that I can kind of take or leave for the most part. So I don't know what he has coming up. But this article is more. It's more of like, this is the whole bucket of things coming out in 2025, and guess what? The box office is going to be great, right? Because let's see, the one from last year. Again, this is Hollywood Press. How F-bombs and family fare saved the 2024 box office. Few could have predicted.
Can we elaborate on F-bombs?
That would be in
Deadpool
and Wolverine. I think that movie. I think the only movie that has more F-bombs than Deadpool and Wolverine would be Goodfellas.
Are you sure it's not Hillbilly Elegy?
I have not seen Hillbilly Elegy.
Well, I can tell you, as soon as J.D. Vance was picked, and I had no idea who he was, I went to watch the film Hillbilly Elegy because it's about him. It's about his life. And I'm telling you, his grandma dropped F-bombs every other word.
My grandma was like that.
And J.D. Vance says it's a very accurate depiction. So I can't fault it. But I had a lot more respect for the man after I watched the movie, because I'm like, wow, that's really who he is. That's just kind of amazing story. But I would highly suggest watching the movie, because Amy Adams is fantastic in it, and Glenn Close is fabulous, dropping the F-bombs every other word. I would say that Hillbilly Elegy and Deadpool Wolverine are probably pretty close in the amount of F-bombs that they have.
Okay, because I haven't seen it, and it's on the list. It's on the list of things to see, because I had not heard of that movie before.
I will also say this: I think that this headline is misleading, because I don't think the 2024 box office we're still behind 2019.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you should say that. And let me get going, Shogi Super Chat here real quick for $4.99. Thank you so very much, my dear, for that Super Chat. I sure do appreciate the heck out of you for that one. I'll hit you with this one.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like, it's going
Put a chick in it, make her lame and gay.
That one, oh my gosh, that episode of South Park was so funny. The only one funnier than that was the end of obesity. You know what happens when you walk around with your stomach hanging out in short shirts? You end up with a bag of people doing a lot of drugs. You have to see that. That one is so freaking funny. Oh my God. The side plot / character of Lost World would have made a great movie, following big game hunters on a broken Isla Nublar. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool to see. I'd like that. But man, it's just I will never forgive them for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That pissed me off. Pissed me off. Shame what they did to that brachiosaur, letting them die like that. Made me angry. Anyway, it's interesting that you should say that, Ron, because John Nolte, who I follow a lot, but following him for years, 2024 domestic box office down 23.5% compared to 5 years ago. Look at all these movies he's got up there. What do you think they all have in common?
They're all flop.
They suck.
Yeah.
I mean, well, those movies especially. Those okay, but that says 2024 domestic box office, and I see several movies from 2023. Am I correct in that? When was Indiana Jones? The Marvels was 2023.
Yeah.
Those are all
Indiana Jones,
2023.
I think that was 2024, right? Indiana Jones was 2024.
Was it?
I think it was 2020. What's 2024?
I think it was 2023.
You know what? I think you're right, because Joker 2 was 2024. Oh my gosh. You know what? Don't watch that freaking movie. I watched that movie for 15 minutes on Max because I had to see just how bad of a train wreck it was. I had to turn it off.
Is it on Max already?
Yes.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
on Max already, and don't freaking watch it.
Look,
it is.
I don't even like the Joker movie that much. There's just one scene that I replay, and that's at the end where he's on the television show, just because I like to watch Robert De Niro bite it.
Yes, that was great. That was freaking great. I enjoyed the Joker film. I really did. It was just like this gritty 1970 period piece. It was great. So I enjoyed watching it. The second one, I don't know what the heck they thought they were doing, but no, they turned Joker into a joke. And Joker is not a joke. Joker is one of the most deadly foes that Batman has, and they need to put some freaking respect on his name. But they didn't do that in the second one. So it's obvious that movie freaking flopped totally. All of these movies were flops because, quote unquote, your rational or normal moviegoer wasn't spending money on stuff like this. The movies that were making money were like Twisters,
Twisters
Inside Out 2, after Disney had that come to Jesus meeting, I guess, with Pixar saying you can't put that stuff in there. I mean, I honestly thought that Inside Out 2 was going to be transgender ideology mess. And I was shocked when it wasn't. And they marketed it really different.
Because I think it was maybe initially intended to give us those Buzz Lightyear moments, those Strange World moments. And it looks like Disney has pulled back from that, at least on the fare that is supposed to be family friendly, like they're doing with that upcoming show. But I just wonder what those discussions are like, in Burbank at the executive office, with that there's a large crowd of people in the executive, the writers' rooms, and all that going, well, damn it, I want my representation. Kids need to know that I exist, and that's important. I can't believe I'm just. How dare you take that out just so you can satisfy 99.999% of the audience? It's me, the 0.1% that needs to be satisfied.
Well, you know
what the meltdowns are like in the offices.
This is what we have to look forward to coming from 2025. Anybody see the problem that I see?
Well, I know his suit is supposed to be made of vibranium, but I don't know. I mean, he obviously, like I sent you the the Marvel meme. Yeah, that thing does not obey the laws of physics.
No. And I'm sorry, not sorry. I've heard some people saying, well, I don't know if it's tongue in cheek or not, saying, oh, well, Falcon's wings are made of vibranium. I'm like, considering that punch coming from Red Hulk, no, not with all that energy being transferred. Sam Wilson would be human roadkill. Okay, just no.
No,
just no.
Maybe it's the fact that Red Hulk is over 80.
That's another one as well. But this film, it's gone through so many reshoots. the test screenings have just been absolutely abysmal. But we've got a whole bunch of IP movies that they are dropping out, for this year, and it's not all that, doesn't really look all that good. So it's more of the same.
2025, all these movies by IP freely.
And the one that I asked about and that I put in the poll, which IP film will fail the least in 2025? It looks like Avatar Fire and Ash with 34% and 28 years later with 32%. So with that one, James Cameron movie, that's going to make money. It's really going to make money. So from the gamer, not that I usually do stuff from the gamer, but a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. So I'll give this one to the gamer for putting this list together, which I pretty much agree with. So when they're talking about the ones that should be okay, I agree about Avatar Fire and Ash, because the second movie that they did, the sequel, was actually pretty good. Did you guys see the one, The Way of Water?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was my only hang up with it was how long it was, and I felt like they could have shortened it and still gotten to the point of the movie.
Well, okay,
but it was good. I mean,
to be
overall.
fair, and I want to say that this is like literally the only movie that I went to watch in IMAX. I think maybe IMAX 3D, and it is, in a sense, I almost hate to say this, but it's almost less about the story and more about the spectacle. Because as I'm watching this movie, there's an hour that they could have cut out where all they're doing is exploring the water, literally for like an hour. There's no story. They're just exploring the water. And yet I'm enraptured in this thing because I'm like, how do they do that? This is 100% computer animated, and it looks so freaking real. It is the best CGI spectacle ever. And
it drew me in.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the aesthetic. Yeah.
I mean, it's the one reason that I like Pandora. I think the footprint of Pandora is quite small at Animal Kingdom, and I would love to see it expanded. I know that there's room. You'd have to break into the parking lot, which is the employee parking lot there, because I used to park there. And there's a building, and I forgot what that's called. It's a cast member building back there that they'd have to destroy, but they could make Pandora much bigger if they go into the parking lot. And I still kind of hope they do, because it's such a, to me, it's far more fascinating than Galaxy's Edge, because it's the kind of land where you don't need as much story for the spectacle. The problem with Star Wars is so invested in story that to create a land that has nothing to do with the Star Wars story is just weird. But on the other hand, Avatar is so much more invested in this aesthetic, this beauty, this land, that it makes more sense in a theme park setting, that you don't even need as much story there. Like the quote unquote story of Avatar Land is it takes place way after any of the movies. Like, what's it, like 50, 70 years in the future, or something like that?
I think so. So it's got that great you didn't even need to see the Avatar movies to get an idea of what that land is like. And just like with J.K. Rowling, the reason why it's so good is because James Cameron had such tight creative control over it.
Well,
and
he
Pandora
worked directly
Land,
with Joe Rohde to do it. Like,
yes, he
you
worked
put
directly
those
with
two
him.
people together.
Only if Joe Rohde is going to head that project up will expanding the land. But the current
True.
Disney that's there now, I wouldn't trust them with a 10-foot pole.
I don't, but I will say with Pandora opening, that land opening is the reason that Animal Kingdom went from a half-day park to a full day park, because it's beautiful during the day. It's
gorgeous
crazy gorgeous in the evening. Saw 11. Now,
really,
I like the Saw movies. The final chapter, Jigsaw, and Spiral, they were all dog crap. Saw 10 was not bad, but it was kind of like, it was okay. I was gonna see it in the theater, but I didn't. I didn't get a chance to. So I saw it on streaming, and I'm like, it was okay, but it's just like it wasn't really as edgy as the previous ones were, but it was still a good watch. So they're coming out with Saw 11. I hope it does not flop. Erica, I will say that the Saw movies up to 6, like Saw 1 through 6, they are actually really good because there's a background story that's happening as to why each certain group of people finds themselves in the situation that they're in. And there's even things from the previous movies that they'll go back to in the subsequent ones. So the 1 through 6 you can watch. The first Saw it's a mind blower. I tell you, I freaking love that one. But with the 7 through 9, they went more for gore rather than for the story itself. So it kind of, just like, okay, not that interested in it anymore. But 10 was good. I hope 11 is good. I hope that it's good.
My favorite line in I think it's the first Saw movie is when the two guys are still there and the one looks at each other and he says, "Please, just get me out of this." And Cary Elwes looks over and he says, "As you wish." Oh no! Wait! I'm confusing things.
Oh my gosh! Yes, Spiral is one of the. It is. Oh my gosh! It was ass. It was. It was totally. Just skip it. Don't even watch it. Don't even watch that one. But yeah, Saw movies 1 through 6. They're great watches. Some of the gore, if you can't really deal with a whole lot of gore, just stick with the first Saw movie, pretty much tell you whatever you need to know. So hopefully Saw 11 will work again. It's another IP with a sequel, but they've done the sequels well for the most part, except those last 3. So
keeping up with the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah. And it's got a really good dedicated fan base. So that's pretty good. 28 years later. Now, I have not seen 28 Days Later or 28 Weeks Later. The only thing I know about 28 Days Later is that the zombies are really fast.
I don't know this franchise. So this is a zombie franchise?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it is silly. And
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm like, I've never even heard of it.
No, I know in the back of my mind somewhere I've heard. So what did it start out? Was it 28 days later and then 28 weeks
28
later?
days later and then 28 weeks later and then 28 years later. So the first one, 28 Days Later, starred Cillian Murphy. He was in it. From what I've heard about this franchise, people tend to really like it. And again, it's got a solid fan base behind it. But again, you've got a sequel to a sequel going on. So
is it does the first one start out very similar to Walking Dead?
That I couldn't tell you because I have not seen the 28 days. I haven't seen the movies from this franchise.
Okay.
It's one of those where I haven't gotten to seeing them, but word of mouth, people who have seen them have really liked it. So.
I can't watch anything with zombies. I figured that out when I was watching Walking Dead, and I got into, I think I want to say season 2 or maybe even season 3, and I was having all my dreams and nightmares were about zombie related, and I'm like, for some reason, zombies in particular affect me in such a negative way mentally that I can't deal with it emotionally. So that's a weird thing about me. But if it has to do with zombies, I can't watch it. The last couple zombie things that I watched were World War Z with Brad Pitt, and then the Walking Dead couple seasons. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. And even when they did the zombie stuff, the Marvel zombie stuff on What If, I was like, I don't like it. I don't know, something That zombies are the particular monster that I can't deal with. I just, it's just I don't know.
We all have our our script
I can deal with vampires. I'm totally cool with Frankenstein's monster. I love the heck out of werewolves. I love werewolf movies. The one with Jack Nicholson, Wolf, I think it was called. Oh my gosh, I love Jack Nicholson as a werewolf. Man, he was perfect. But
well, there's a Wolfman
I hate
movie
being
that's coming
startled.
out
I
this
hate jump
month.
scares.
You hate what?
And I don't like surprises. I can't do jump scares. I don't like surprises. I startle easily. And then depending on the images on the screen, if it looks very like demon-esque, yeah, I go to bed with that image and I'm asleep with the lights on.
Well,
the Rosary praying Hail Marys and the St. Michael prayer.
Oh my gosh. Mark Daly says we all have a monster we can't stand. For me, it's the Miami Boys. And yes, Retro Gamer 2408. Yes, finally Tom Cruise confirmed that the new Mission Impossible movie is the final one. Now, Dead Reckoning, I almost fell asleep on that movie. I really did. And it was kind of disappointing for me because I liked that was the next to the last one. It came out last year was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, I think it came out. Dead Reckoning. I went to see it in IMAX. Preview. It was pretty cool. Tom Cruise, he was thanking the fans for coming to see it. It was okay, but compared to the Mission Impossible franchise in total, it was not the best one. And it's probably the only one where it's just like, you know what, I could have lived without seeing it. So that they're making another one, and supposedly this is going to be the end, the last one. I don't know. It's like I don't know if they can stick the landing on this one, but
they were okay. So Dead Reckoning was supposed to be Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2, right? And so they changed it so that now it's the Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning, because it is a cliffhanger of a movie. I didn't watch it in movie theaters. I have seen it at home, and I liked it a lot at home. But it's a whole different experience when you're not having to pay money to go see it. So
yeah, and I paid to see it again in IMAX. I went to go see it. And it wasn't, I mean, I got a poster and a pin out of it, but, which was kind of nice, but it was just okay. I mean, it wasn't crazier stunts there weren't stunts that we hadn't seen Tom Cruise really do. So
what about the jumping off the cliff with the bike?
It's like I've seen him do something like that before. So you know what I mean? It was kind of like, yeah, we know he's going to stick the landing on that. I mean,
Cruise always. I mean, those stunts. That's why. I mean, he's even admitted it. That's why he makes these movies. He's he's a Hollywood. He's a traditional Hollywood guy, though. Like he really is. He's old school Hollywood as far as how real movies being made without CGI and. Just like Maverick. Oh my gosh, what a great movie that was! And
Maverick was freaking awesome.
It's just I think Tom Cruise is crazy, but I respect him as far as the craft and acting and movies and that, because he is honestly one of the last remnants of a dead Hollywood, not dying, but dead. It's just
Hollywood.
True.
He's the life support that it's on.
I mean, for Tom Cruise, with just again that he is literally the last movie star and his whole body of work, and when you take the whole franchise in total, it's like I don't think the movie's going to be dog crap, but I don't think it's going to be all that great. However, it's still going to be something to experience. Where if you go and see it, you don't feel like you wasted your money. Like I didn't feel like I wasted my money when I saw Dead Reckoning. It was kind of like I'm comparing this movie with a couple of the other Mission Impossible movies, judging it from that way. But hopefully, And DJ Knight says, I'm waiting for it on streaming. Yeah, I might do the same unless there's a preview. If there's a preview, I'm probably going to go in and go and see it so I can report and let you
Also,
guys
you got to
know.
say this. You got to say this for the first Mission Impossible. The first Mission Impossible gave us that scene that how many other movies have tried to copy with Tom Cruise coming down from the ceiling and then almost hitting the floor. That particular, I mean, that originated in Mission Impossible, and we see it everywhere in every type of spy thing.
Everywhere.
And
that is
imitation is the highest form of flattery. They so I got to give it to Tom Cruise for that, because Mission Impossible wasn't exactly the greatest television show, and then what they did with the movies and turning it into the thing that they did, I thought it's very, very clever the way those movies are done. They're not my favorite movies by any stretch of the imagination, but I have enjoyed watching through the franchise. So
I just didn't like what they did with Mr. Phelps to turn Mr. Phelps bad in the first MI movie that Tom Cruise was in. I didn't appreciate that, but I forgave him with the rest of them. So this is the group of quote unquote probably okay. Now, I am not a DC aficionado, and frankly, I really think that Zack Snyder should be dragged out in the crossroads at midnight, tarred and feathered for what he did with Man of Steel, because that movie pissed me off. Because there is no freaking way that Clark Kent would have let a darn tornado take out his dad. Hell no. Hell to the freaking no. So
that was some of the poorest writing in any. I mean, okay, you have a man who can travel so fast and save his dad so fast that nobody would see him, and you had the perfect excuse for nobody knowing what the hell was going on because it's a freaking tornado. You think anybody's out there cares what they would see? I mean, it's the dumbest thing ever.
I saw the trailer for this, and it was, first of all, I'm getting tired of James Gunn using the guitar riffs and everything. I have no opinion about this film whatsoever. I'm a Richard Donner Superman diehard, Christopher Reeve. That's my favorite. We'll see what happens. It may do well. It may not do well. I'm hoping in a way that it does, because Zack Snyder's Superman needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. I'm sorry, Abu Nas, but you know how I feel. You know how I feel about that. We'll see what happens with it. But he's got to pull it off.
I got to tell you something about this. So this is really funny. I showed this trailer to my son. I think it was earlier today, and the first thing he said was, "That doesn't look like Superman." So I thought that was very telling from a 12-year-old's point of view, because that's your audience. That's a big part of your main audience for a movie like this. And if my 12-year-old son goes, "That doesn't look like Superman," that is a problem almost immediately. And he kind of in the first trailer or teaser, whatever, he kind of doesn't look like Superman. I mean, it's just he doesn't pull off the look for me at all. And we'll see. Acting has a lot to do with it, but I don't know. I think this movie has a very difficult job to win audiences over. And the first weekend, everybody who's a DC super fan will go, and it will have decent box offices first weekend. Mm-hmm. And then the people that they bring with them who didn't really want to go but got dragged to it are going to spread the word of mouth. Is this good or is it bad? Is it worth normies going to see or is it not? And that word of mouth is going to drive the box office either up or down on this one.
I agree. Erica, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I like Henry Cavill. I think he's hot.
I miss him.
And I'm a happily married woman.
I'm still mad. It's like you put him in Black Adam, and we saw that teaser scene at the end where Henry Cavill steps out, he's got Superman, and I'm clapping like a darn seal and all excited, and you get rid of him. There's a bunch of us that are still pissed.
The problem with
that.
Henry Cavill was that he was so good as Superman, and he did not have a good script or writing
Exactly.
at all. And that's what pisses you off about it. You're like, you have the perfect guy, the perfect look for Superman, and you don't give him a real Clark Kent role. You don't give him the writing on Man of Steel was. And also, Superman needs to start with a smaller story. I hated the fact that they started with Zod and having world-ending stakes in the very first Superman movie. The clever thing about the Donner film, the very first one, is the guy's literally saving cats. And I mean, he saves a little girl's cat in the first one, which, by the way, it's really funny. It's so 1970s when the girl goes inside and goes, "Mommy, this cat food had me save my cat," and she gets beaten up for it. I remember that. That is so 1970s. But I can't believe you told a lie. But then of course you have the cleverness of the lines like, Christopher Reeve just standing there, Superman, and the guy hits him from the back. Bad vibrations. Stuff like that was so awesome in those Christopher Reeve movies. But man, it's why couldn't you have given Henry Cavill that clever of writing as what was in the Donner film? And I would have loved to have seen, I still say this, I would have loved to have seen them start off the Man of Steel franchise with especially if they wanted to go big, start off with Brainiac, start off with somebody we haven't seen in a film yet. The fact that they did Zod, they did a weird Mark Zuckerberg Lex Luthor crossover thing.
Please don't remind me of Carrot Top Lex Luthor.
What the hell was that about? I mean, it was so.
I will say James Gunn nailed the casting with who they got to play Lex Luthor in this one. He looks like Lex Luthor, bald. He's got that face. That actually, I will say, they cast Lex Luthor up. He did for Superman, but we shall see with that one. This movie, I do not have very high hopes for, and this is a spin-off of John Wick called Ballerina. So I'm not sure this was going to do all that great. I have zero interest in watching a John Wick film that does not have John Wick. And I do agree, Peter Rilla. John Wick 4 was peak. John Wick 4, damn. I mean, I couldn't believe 3 hours went by like that. Just watching John Wick 4. So I don't think this is one that's going to do all that well. I hope that it will, but me personally, I'm not interested really in watching it. Have you guys have watched the John Wick films, right? Or have you not?
I've watched some of them. I'm trying to think how much I got through. Is it just John Wick 1? I know that it's all about revenge for his dog.
Yeah, it kind of was and wasn't at the same time. It's with the first movie, it was about, these Russian gangsters went and killed his dog, but it was the fact that his dog, the puppy, was given to him after his wife's death because he left the assassin game for his wife and she died of cancer. And you see where he's mourning his wife's death and he gets a delivery from a courier. And it turns out his wife wrote this card to him and said, "You need something to love when I'm gone." And he gets this little puppy. So when the gangsters kill his puppy, all freaking bets are off and he just went ham. And you see this theme of the dogs in each John Wick movie. Like when the fur missile comes out, and the dogs start attacking the bad guys, the crowd just goes nuts in the theater when that happens. It's so good. And the fourth one is absolutely amazing, but I don't think it's worthy of a spin-off, but it's a victim of its own success. It's like John Wick. The John Wick series made such a crap ton of money that they're figuring this is gonna work. So we'll see. I don't really have high hopes for it for the most part. But if it makes the money back plus the marketing budget, it will be deemed a success. So who knows? We'll do that one. Then of course there's the Minecraft movie. Are you guys aware of this one?
Yeah, I'm aware of it because
I heard something about it.
I'm aware of it because I cannot stand the advertisements with Aquaman wearing this pink fur jacket or whatever the hell.
I love that. Okay, I'm shallow enough to admit the only reason that I would watch Minecraft is just to see Jason Momoa.
It's live action. It's not even animated.
No, it's live action. I mean, it looks like complete and total trash, but yeah, kids will want to freaking see it.
I was gonna say little boys will probably.
They will. My nephew, he can't wait to see it.
They will want it. Yeah,
of course. I mean, that's what it's made for.
I have a nephew too that would be obsessed with Minecraft.
Yeah, the little boys want to see this movie. I just want to see it because Jason Momoa is in it. I'm not going for the plot. I could freaking care less. But yeah, it will make money. Yes. Is it a good movie? No. I don't think it'll be a level of like say Sonic. Sonic 3 was freaking awesome. If you had,
oh my gosh, that was amazing. I watched Sonic 3 now in the movie theaters twice. It is worth the price of admission just to see Jim Carrey dance with himself as his dad through lasers. That part. I mean, I'm like, this is just take my money. I mean, I love that.
It was so insane, and hearing Keanu Reeves as Shadow, that it was so good. And of course, like the shot straight out of the game. I'm done. Oh, and the end credit scene. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Well, once where they're talking about getting nervous. Ron, are we about to lose you, my dear?
I don't have a link yet, so I'm just gonna stay
here.
Oh,
okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm keeping you.
Just keep me. And if I get a link, I'll let you know. I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm invited or if I'm not invited. We'll see. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm somewhere. I'm sitting in this chair.
Yeah, that's one thing about this community. We all know where each other is.
We're
they go stream stalking. Good. Yeah, they're over at such and such and so. You can get them. Yeah, I hear you, Dakota. I'm just gonna check it out just for fewer, just because I want to see Jason Momoa. That's just what I'm talking about. Sonic 3 is coming to streaming on the 20th. They're cutting their own knees off.
Which kind of
possible?
Streaming? It's
possible. Is it digital release or is it on Paramount Plus? And here's my other question. Are they releasing physical media the same day?
Are they even releasing physical media? Do they do that anymore?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Yeah, they just don't advertise it. Like you have to dig for physical media. They don't put it out there.
It's a weird thing.
Is it,
I need to rebuild my physical media. A lot of my stuff got stolen or lost.
What does Forbes say? Sonic the Hedgehog digital streaming via premium video on demand. Okay, so what that is, it's like if you're paying, VOD. So you're going to be paying, the $20 to rent it. So yeah, I think they'll be okay with that. I thought it was coming out on streaming. I was going to say the only film that I know that's made a crap ton of money in the theater and streaming, like actually it was the same time, would be Five Nights at Freddy's. You couldn't even get a ticket to see the darn movie the first night it came out. It was, and they were sold out weeks before the film came out. It was crazy. Yes, Sonic is life. So yeah, I love Megan. Camera Girl is not a horror fan, but she loves dolls. So she watched this movie and loved it. And this is PG-13 horror that we're talking about with this. So the first movie was great. I'm caught. Yeah, I'm like you, Peter. I'm cautiously optimistic about the sequel. They have to come up with something different, and they kind of gave a hint as to what that would be. Ron and Erica, have you guys seen Megan?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen Megan, and I love what they did with her at the parks for Halloween Horror Nights. The Megan dance is like the best thing ever.
Some dolls creep me out.
And
I think you would like this one. I really
is so
do,
weird,
because it
but
looks creepy. But what she is she is a doll. She is an AI. But the reason why she was created was to the creator, like her sister died, so she wound up getting her niece, and her niece had an issue with like grieving, so she created this like doll, but the doll becomes sentient, and it's crazy how they did it.
I
Crazy.
I thought it was clever and not nearly as frightening as it could. It wasn't like slasher horrific frightening.
No,
because
it's PG-13. It's more like a thriller, creepy thriller.
But it was.
Oh, it's not Exorcist scary, because I was going through my head.
Oh,
doll.
No, not Exorcist. Think of it like if you had a doll that was like literally your constant companion in that if anybody tried to screw with you, they'd wind up missing. It's kind of like that.
She protects her owner.
Yeah.
Sort of like.
Yeah.
So
a little
she is
too well.
a little too well. She's
okay.
And then that part where she comes out and
like
she's
Robert
like,
the doll really comes alive.
yeah, she's like, I've got no strings to hold me down. Oh no, wait, that was
creepy.
That's really creepy, and you're really gonna ruin a good song for me.
Ultron. But there's a Megan doll, or there was a doll that looked like a Megan doll at the base of the Christmas tree at Magic Kingdom this year. At the
did I miss that one?
At the Magic Kingdom, there was.
Is it really already?
There were the toys at the base of the Christmas tree, and one of them kind of resembled a Megan doll. I was like, it wasn't exactly, but I'm like, man, that looks enough like it to make me think of Megan.
You know what? In the Red Coconut Club or the Dead Coconut Club, the Bloomhouse bar that they had there, they had the Megan doll. That was freaking creepy. It was so creepy. I thought she was going to bust out of the plexiglass.
Okay, yeah, no.
How many of these movies do people actually want to watch that aren't YouTubers? YouTube reviews are better than the majority of these movies. You know what? They're going to give us so much freaking content. They give us so much content.
Yeah. There's certain things that I have to watch that I don't want to watch, and I watch it now just because I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, I'll watch it so you don't have to. Like the live action freaking Little Mermaid. I didn't really want to watch that movie, but daggone it, people tuned in to hear me review that. Oh, I heard he wasn't in the Matrix 4 Boulder 2009. Yeah, I heard he wasn't. So I don't know where exactly that one came from. Megan and Chucky.
Yeah,
Lord.
That was when I was laughing at. Like, oh my gosh. I've seen the Chucky movies. Now those are I was able to tolerate those. They were pretty cheesy.
It's around the same
like that.
around the same thing. Yeah. It's like that. It's like I said, Camera Girl does not like horror. She sat through Megan. She didn't move. She wasn't even on her phone. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The fact that she wasn't scrolling through TikTok or something, and she literally watched this whole entire movie. She's like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
And there's how many? movies already? 6 movies?
No, there's only one of Megan, and they're
I don't know
doing a
where I got that
sequel
from.
that started filming last year. It started filming. So yeah, I can't wait to see this. I hope they do not screw it up. Now You See Me, I have never seen these movies. Have any of you seen the Now You See Me movies? I've never
Yes.
seen them.
I've seen. I think I want to say that I've seen both of them. The first one was I
Is
really
Daniel
enjoyed it.
Radcliffe in there?
Yes.
Oh! I just saw him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The first is that. So this will be the third one of the franchise.
Third one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed
Winter
at least the
Fight
first one. I
Jason.
don't really remember the second one, if I've seen it or not. Maybe I haven't, but the first one I enjoyed it. I'm surprised it's making money though. I'm surprised that there's a third one.
Marie Jade says, I like the Now You See Me movies. I may have to watch the first one. But apparently they're making a third one. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that does.
It's been such a long time. I think, what are they, magicians, but they're also thieves? I'm trying to remember. I know I vaguely remember. I guess it's been a while since the first one came out. I mean, the very fact that Jesse Eisenberg is in it tells you something.
I can't stand it, dude. Anyway, Empress Carmageddon says, Now You See Me, Magic and Cops Illusions movie. Go and Shoki says they're fun heist movies. So hopefully that one will do well. This one, do not want. I don't know how good it will do. Yes, Rebirth. This one, it's not even
New
on my
cast
radar.
with a solid shakeup.
And the previous World trilogy did well despite the woeful reviews. Well, Jurassic World, that was good. That one was good.
Dominion, that one?
Dominion.
So this is interesting because I didn't know that they were going to cross over the
Kingdom.
I didn't know that they were going to cross over the the franchises and have the Black Widow, her rebirth will be in Jurassic Park. Like,
oh man.
She
reboot. Yeah.
She wakes up and she's like, I'm not on that weird planet anymore, but why are there dinosaurs here? I don't know. I mean, I've trained for everything, but I don't think I trained for this. And then she's in the Black Widow get up. And then that could make for an interesting movie.
I can't with these. I know RJ, but I can't with these. The best one that they had was Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom was ass. Dominion was even worse than that. And now they're going to do another one. It's like,
yeah, but that's just it. They're going to keep going with it. That's what I was reading, and it's going to be this, like, I don't know, endless franchise that just never freaking ends. Because I guess they have nothing else better to create.
Even if it's the worst movie ever made, kids love dinosaurs. That is true. And Universal has Jurassic World over at Islands of Adventure, which is freaking awesome. You even hear John Hammond's voice, okay, when he welcomes you to Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yes, it's going to make some amount of money. I mean, you got to get people on the Velocicoaster somehow.
Oh, it's a beautiful roller coaster. You could theme that thing in anything and people will ride it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, it's a beauty. I'm not one, I won't ride it, but it is a sight to behold. I will say that.
If you're a roller coaster enthusiast and a coaster makes you rethink maybe this wasn't a good idea, that coaster's good. Well, okay, here we got another one. Tron Ares. I did not like
What,
Tron
that's coming
Legacy.
out?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I had no idea.
It's
I
it
did not know this was a.
it's like I just didn't I don't care about this one. I did not like Tron Legacy. The only thing that I liked about Tron Legacy was that banging Daft Punk soundtrack. I bought the soundtrack to Tron Legacy, but the film itself, no. The film itself was not all that great. So now they're going to come out with this third one here. Well, again, they've got the Tron Light Cycle run. So, of course, they're going to put this movie out there. So, I don't think this one's going to do all that great. The soundtrack is by, I forget the dude's name, but he's in 9 Inch Nails. So, for me, this may be another case of I don't want to see the movie, but the soundtrack is probably banging. They're already filming the sequel, Tron Tor. Yes, it was. Tron Legacy was boring. And yeah, Daft Punk was the best part of Legacy. No joke, it was. The costume design in Tron Legacy was cool. But there was nothing that really connected it to the spirit of the original Tron film. And that's what they keep missing with these. So we'll see what happens. I mean, Disney will probably say that it's the #1 movie in America when it comes out.
The #1 movie worldwide against a film that didn't release worldwide. Just saying.
But since, they've got a ride based on Tron, hey, and Universal's got a ride based on Jurassic Park. I get it, but okay.
There's actually nothing in the ride that connects the ride to the movie either, just for the record.
No,
I mean,
none. It's so freaking lazy.
You wait in line for 80 minutes for a 30-second ride. It's
30-second ride.
Tron is better as park decoration than it is as a ride. Honestly, it really is very pretty. It has a nice aesthetic when you're walking around, next to it, but it's not.
It looks like a festival pavilion for the most part, and it doesn't even follow the film really. Like you would think that you would get digitized and welcome to the grid, like you would have that experience of being de-res. Nah, you don't get that. You just walk past something that looks
they put you in front of a wall that reveals that goes whoosh, there's a sound effect and then there's a reveal.
That's true. Well, Mortal Kombat 2, I do not have a lot of hope for this one. Mortal Kombat 1 did not have Johnny Cage in it. That was their first mistake. Did you guys see any of the Mortal Kombat films?
The original
The one that came out in the 90s. Yeah, I haven't watched.
That one was so hype. And that
and it was homecoming. Went to homecoming, went to my friend's house, and we watched Mortal Kombat that night. I was in 10th grade.
That movie was so freaking good. I was so hyped. I used to play Mortal Kombat all the time, whether I was Scorpion or Sub-Zero. Usually I was one of those two. After seeing the reboot, I went back and watched the one from the 90s, and the spirit is missing. And Johnny Cage is missing. How you're not going to have Johnny Cage in the first movie? And how are you going to have Mortal Kombat without the Mortal Kombat competition? They didn't have it in the first movie. No, they didn't do that.
What?
They didn't do it. Nope.
That's the whole point of Mortal Kombat.
Nope. The best part about Mortal Kombat was the first 10 minutes, and you had Hiroyuki Sanada, who, of course, you see in Shogun. He was freaking awesome as Scorpion. So that whole battle between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, the first 10 minutes, that's all you need to see. That was it. That was the best part of the whole freaking movie. I mean, shot so darn well. I don't know who did the rest of it, but it was freaking awesome. Talk about a soundtrack. The track from the first movie is a banger. Yes. Done by George S. Clinton of Parliament Funkadelic. Thing is freaking iconic. Absolutely.
I'm still waiting for Karateka, the movie. I love that game, Karateka.
Oh yeah, I do not see this movie doing that great, but your girl will go see it because I'd rather save y'all some money. So I see it, so y'all don't have to. Fantastic Four. Now, I have not seen a good Fantastic Four movie. Ever. No, ever. Pedro Pascal is so overexposed. I'm tired of freaking seeing him in everything.
I honestly,
don't buy him as Reed Richards.
I truly feel he is like literally the worst choice that they could have picked for Reed Richards, and they're setting this in the 1960s, and they are not even giving they're letting Pedro Pascal keep his Pedro Pascal look. He's looking nothing like Reed Richards at all. They could have continued on with John Krasinski because they had that opportunity, but they brought him in for fan service, and then they killed him off in 2 seconds. That was dumb. And I just everything I've seen of this movie makes me actually like the original Fantastic Four with Chris Evans more.
I know. I will say guilty pleasure. I did like that one with him in it. Pedro Pascal is Reed, and then we do not get the Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer was freaking awesome. We get the female Silver Surfer. They didn't say Shia LaBeouf. They said female Silver Surfer. No. So I do not have a lot of hope for this film. We'll see what happens, but
when do you think we'll get a trailer for this one? Because the first teaser, I'm really interested in what they're attempting to do with this.
It'll probably come out with Thunderbolts.
You don't think it'll come out with Captain?
No, won't come. I don't think it's going to come out with Captain. I don't think it's going to be ready by then.
You should need a teaser.
You would, but the thing is, that movie was, oh my gosh, that movie was so darn bad. There's another, oh my gosh, you know what? It might come out with Snow White.
Fantastic Four?
The
teaser trailer.
Teaser, yeah. I'm thinking it might come out with Snow White. I'm thinking.
So is this going to be like a summer movie? Will this be their hoped summer blockbuster?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're probably gonna show it with Snow White. Captain America, Brave New World, that's next month. So I think that's a little too early. But Snow White is in late March. That's probably going to be the best.
I don't think Brave New World is going to do very well.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. Brave New World. Well, we already know this one isn't going to do good. It's got like how many 1.5 million downvotes? Yeah, this one's a given. This movie is just going to be awful. But here's the question: which one is going to be worse, Captain America: Brave New World or Snow White?
Snow White.
Oh, I think Snow White will be worse. But I have my biggest question about Snow White at this point in time is how many people might just go to hate watch it? Like, will people pay to hate watch it? Because the one thing about Snow White that you can't deny is that it has a ridiculous amount of exposure. I mean, there's that old phrase, all press is good press. And that certainly does have a lot of, I think Snow White has had a lot more exposure than even this movie has. So I don't know.
I would,
unless people will have the attitude of, well, I'll just wait until it comes to streaming and it won't make money in the cinema, but it could make money on streaming. I don't know.
I definitely think that Snow White is going to be waiting on a wish.
I think people, you know,
take it away, Ron.
Yep. Let's face it, the Pixie Dust Cupcake Brigade, of course, they're going to go the first week it comes out to go and see it. And those of us, yeah, you know, this movie's great. I'm going to bring out my friends. This is great. This is great. Even though they're like gritting, like, why am I sitting here watching this freaking thing? The hate watchers will go the first week. Then after that,
having a Snow White movie without the song "Someday My Prince Will Come" is one of the most ridiculous things I can even possibly imagine, right? Like, that is the single most iconic song from the movie, the 1937 Disney classic. The reason everybody that works for Disney today has a job is that 1937 Snow White classic, and the song "Someday My Prince Will Come," classic song, not going to be in that movie because she doesn't care. I mean,
she should have never had a vote in that to begin with.
I don't think she had a vote. I think
she didn't have a say in that, did she? Did they just force that? I don't know.
I think the writers wrote. I think they wrote I think it has to do with the writers. I actually think that her casting was because of that. They did not. They literally want to change the character of who Snow White is.
Yeah.
And that's
they tried doing that with Jasmine, which annoyed me in the Aladdin live action.
They did it with Ariel. They did it with. I mean, it's you. They fundamentally don't know what girls want in a princess movie. Girls don't want a girl boss movie. Little girls want to see a princess fighting for a prince.
It's like all of a sudden romance isn't allowed anymore. We're not allowed as women to desire, men to want to sweep us off our feet, or for us to desire a man to sweep us off our feet. Like, since when has that ever died? And why should it? Like, who are you to dictate if that should or should not be good, bad, right, wrong? None of your
Now, this is why foreign cinema is like kicking ass here in the U.S., especially on streaming. It's like they remember those things. There's nothing wrong with feminine and masculine. There's nothing wrong with heterosexual relationships. That's what they don't want to show. They don't want to show heterosexual relationships. It's just not working.
That was another thing.
Oh yeah, I do. I need to get a soundboard.
I know.
I need to get a soundboard.
I want fart noises.
I'm telling you, Alexa.
I need that, and I
heard about that
to have
earlier.
less possible.
But I wanted to where I could push a button on a stream, just go, just let them rip.
Alexa, play fart noises. Let's see if it works.
Use the Disney with the banana.
Put it up to your microphone now so we can
fart
hear
noises.
Oh my gosh! And don't get me started on Mulan. Oh, I ripped that one.
Compilation? You can hear up to 50 farts one after the other.
Yes.
Gosh, that's so freaking wrong.
How many
That's so
farts do
wrong
you
on
want
so
to
many
hear?
stories.
Choose a number from 1 to 50 and hear those stinky farts.
2.
Oh my gosh!
How many farts do you want to hear? Choose a number from 1 to 50 and hear those stinky farts.
2.
Take cover. Farts are coming.
The fact that you know what?
You know what I think about that, Cal? Hold on.
Different number of farts.
Sorry.
Who you are, farts are funny. You could tie raise boys.
Oh God!
My gosh! You know what?
Sorry about that.
If you can't laugh at a good fart joke.
I know, right?
So yeah, now everybody that has an Alexa, go try your farts out.
Y'all are something else. We have got to wrap this show up because it is so late where Erica is, and apparently Ron's. I guess they haven't paged you yet, but eventually you'll go over that way over the pros channel. But first of all, thank you guys so much for being here, supporting the Spice Lounge. We have so much fun with you guys doing this show. Let's go around, let people know what you got going on. Erica, where can people find you and what do you have going on?
You can find us at Erica-Raff on YouTube. We are just expats in Germany, early empty nesters, figuring out this new phase of life that we're kind of embarking on. And when I'm invited, you can find me here or on the Pro Show or on T3PO. And then Lorena's other stream on Resort Recon. So I float around streams
Sometimes
for
on my show.
commentary like this. Yeah. But my channel is more like family type vlogs. That's what we got going. And I just posted, was it yesterday? Our New Year's Eve, what it looks like here in our village. Yep. And I'm editing our medieval Christmas market video. That's, a few weeks delayed. It's already past the Christmas season. But I'm playing catch up with those videos.
All right, we got to check it out. I know I have that one on my playlist, so I can check that out. Glad you guys are all here. Ron, what you got going on? Where can we find you?
The Daily Dish. I do that show every day on my channel, Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. And outside of that, you'll see news story commentary type videos. A lot more on the channel this year, as well as family vlogs. And then where really my goal is to aim vlogs this year into very informational vlogs that help people out if they're coming down. And so if there's a specific, something about Epic Universe that needs to be known by somebody coming down or Disney or Universal, whatever, I want to try and keep my vlogs focused in on really good, fun information that people can utilize that will save you money and help you have a more fun time when you're down here. That's why we're, Follow Bradley's Fun. And we want to help everybody make Disney Walt again. I don't know that the company will get the message, but man, it would be nice. And of course, I'm also on Lorena's shows, Pro Shows, that Park Place, T3PO, all that kind of stuff, wherever. Who knows? Yes, I know, Avarice. I have been promising that I will be doing videos about my time as a cast member.
Yeah, he's going to do that. I threw the idea out there that I might start doing some, I don't know, theoretical Disney planning videos, kind of like, well, actually live. It's just like, let's see, can we put together a package for whatever amount of money or, meal, restaurant planning? Do you want to go to this one? No, not really. Or, the theoretical, how much does it really cost for a realistic trip? And I do that in real time. So we may be doing cool stuff like that. And of course, yes, Epic Universe is my number one priority.
Yeah.
There's so much
I can't wait.
that is coming out about that. I so can't wait to share it with you guys. As for myself, let's see. I think tomorrow I'm supposed to be on Dark Council over on Fatal J's channel. That's at 8:30 p.m. So yeah, we should be back. We should be back at 8:30 p.m. Yeah, so we should be back by then.
And tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yep.
No, wait.
So we do it every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we do the Dark Council. Thursday, I should be on Pro Show live at noon on Thursday. And Saturday, I'm kind of taking the morning off, but at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be over on Retro Nerd Girls channel for a watch party of The Empire Strikes Back. and then 8 p.m. Eastern, the watch party for Spaceballs on my channel. So make sure you're subs so you can see what I've got going on. And Dakota, thank you so much, says this is my first time tuning into this channel, and I'm glad I did. I have definitely subscribed. So thank you so much, my dear. Definitely make sure
Welcome
you're
to the
subscribed.
familia.
Yes, Peter says, I love you, my Lorena fam. We love you too. Cherry Rose, thank you so much for that super sticker, my dear. The Shiba Inu dog with the farting hearts. Thank you so very much for sending that to me. So let's see which one. Oh, let's do this one.
All the employees were smiling, and that's probably in large part because they didn't own any Disney stock.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like,
Oh gosh, that was like the best South Park episode in my opinion ever.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yes.
watched it like 3 times.
I was like, are they gonna go there? Man, can you check under my bed? See if Kathleen Kennedy, the Disney executives under there. Is Kathleen Kennedy under there? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. You guys have a great night. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yes, pray for Pacific Palisades wildlife. That's why we had a firefighter pass. So, oh my gosh. It is. I know that area of Pacific Palisades. It is, oh my gosh, pray for folks up there and for the firefighters and all the first responders helping. It's truly a really bad situation that really didn't need to happen if California would just have the controlled burns like they need to do to get rid of the excess brush and stuff, because when the winds shift, it can start wildfires so quickly. So yeah, please do pray for them. Keep them in your prayers. All right, folks, we're gonna roll on out here. As always, you guys are amazing. Thanks for supporting the Spice Lounge. We hope you guys had a lot of fun hanging out with us. We will see you next week. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, let's tidy things up.
Autobots, start your engines!
Not under the rug.
We'll keep singing without fail, otherwise we'd spoil it.
Ready, Prime? Let's roll.
Hosing down the garbage pail and scrubbing up the toilet. Ooh.
That's all, folks.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.